It's time for Northwestern Outdoors Radio, the award-winning broadcast covering fishing, hunting, and outdoor recreation throughout the Great Northwest. Northwestern Outdoors is brought to you every week by Max Lure Company, producing a legacy of innovation since 1969, by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter, and by Loophole, America's optical authority. Also sponsoring the show every week is Shiloh Inn & Suites, offering affordable excellence throughout the West. Mardon Resort, the place to fish and hunt in eastern Washington, and the Wallowa County Chamber of Commerce, where nature is on display in Northeast Oregon all year long. And now, let's head into the field with your host, John Cruz.
We've got a great show for you this weekend, highlighting the outdoors in one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited, Wallowa County in Northeast Oregon. What this county lacks in population, it makes up for in spades, in natural beauty, and in an abundance of wildlife. My favorite part of my latest foray there had me hiking a trail at the Awittam State Heritage Site just south of Joseph. The trail goes through grasslands to a wooded area surrounding a small pond and a creek. It's all sacred ground for the Nez Perce tribe, and old Chief Joseph himself is buried just a few yards away from here. Well, as I was hiking out there, I saw two dogs scampering towards me on the trail. My first reaction, I was annoyed, wondering where the owners were of these two dogs and why they were letting them run around unleashed. Then the dogs got within 20 yards of me, saw me, and stopped. When they did, I realized these weren't dogs. They were red foxes. As you might imagine, they both skedaddled away in a hurry, but not before I was able to take a quick picture of one of them, who stopped just long enough to take a curious look back at me. It was an encounter that only lasted a few seconds, but it marked only the third time in my life I've seen a fox, and the first time I've seen two at once. Definitely a highlight of my little adventure here. We've got other adventures to share with you as well. We'll start off by meeting some of the artists exhibiting at the Wallowa Festival of the Arts that takes place every June. It turns out nature, both landscapes and wildlife, inspires quite a few of the Northwest artists who exhibit here, and we thought we ought to tell you about them and the beautiful artwork they paint. We'll talk to Rob Lamb at the Joseph Fly Shop about the great trout fishing you'll find around here, and then we're going to be pedaling the railroad line between Joseph and Enterprise with Anita Metlin. She's the co-owner of the Joseph Branch Rail Riders. That's right, you can pedal what vaguely resembles a railroad handcar through some gorgeous country here, and if you want to go further, there's another rail pedaling adventure you can enjoy too, just a few miles away, that takes you along the Wallowa River. Anita can't wait to tell you all about it in a few minutes. On top of all of this, we've got some upcoming events to tell you about, not only in Wallowa County, but also in some other places too, and we've got information about some lakes and streams you might want to go fishing at for Father's Day here in Wallowa County and all over the Northwest. That special day, and fathers in general, will also be the topic of our Max Minute this week with Lance Mers, and don't forget to shop for your dad, too. I'm guessing he might want something from a sporting goods store, and it just so happens our sponsor, Sportsman's Warehouse, is having a big Father's Day sale this weekend. If you need some extra dough to shop there, you might want to enter our Trivia Question of the Week contest. We'll be giving you an outdoors-related trivia question later in the broadcast, and if you send us the correct answer through our website at northwesternoutdoors.com or through our Facebook page at Northwestern Outdoors Radio, you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift card. We give one away every week from Sportsman's Warehouse. But before we get into trivia and head to Wallowa County, David Sparks has some good news about new land being enrolled into the CRP program, something sure to benefit wildlife here in the western United States. It's all part of Sportsman Spotlight, brought to us every week by the Northwest Ag Information Network.
Ducks Unlimited, Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies. Rejoice! David Sparks, Sportsman Spotlight. A big part of keeping the great outdoors great is conservation, and the USDA, again, is very involved. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack announced that an additional 800,000 acres of highly environmentally sensitive land may be enrolled in the Conservation Reserve Program, CRP, under certain wetland and wildlife initiatives initiatives that provide multiple benefits on the same land. The USDA will accept new offers to participate in CRP under a general sign-up to be held December 1st, 2015 through February 26, 2016. Eligible existing program participants with contracts expiring September 30th, 2015 will be granted an option for one-year extensions. Farmers and ranchers interested in removing sensitive land from agricultural production and planting grasses or trees to reduce soil erosion, improve water quality, and restore wildlife habitat are encouraged to enroll. Spokesperson Candy Moore.
David, as you know, CRP protects water quality. It restores significant habitat for ducks, pheasants, turkey, quail, deer, and other important wildlife. This spurs economic development like hunting and fishing, outdoor recreation, and tourism all over America. Secretary Vilsack said that today we're allowing an additional 800,000 acres for duck nesting habitat and other wetland and wildlife habitat initiatives.
Nate Luther wants to take you fishing for monster sturgeon on the Snake River and Hell's Canyon. Find out more by going to Nate's Facebook page at Nate Luther's Guide Service or give Nate a call at 208-503-9204. That's 208-503-9204 for Nate Luther's Guide Service.
Leupold has been building optics in Oregon since 1907, and Leupold binoculars bring excellent optical performance and modern styling to the serious outdoorsman. Whether you're a boater, birder, backpacker, or hunter, Leupold's state-of-the-art binocular lines are sure to fit your needs. Visit Leupold.com or your local Cabela's, Bi-Mart, or Sportsman's Warehouse to see the full line of Leupold optics.
You're back with Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're broadcasting from the Wallowa Art Festival, and the theme today is how nature inspires art. With us is local artist Michael Koloski, who's got some beautiful oil paintings here himself we're going to talk about in a minute. But first thing first, Michael, tell me about this art festival. I understand this has been going over 30 years now.
Oh, it has, and it's just a wonderful outpouring of art that happens once a year here in Wallowa County. Artists from all over the region display, and it's a heck of a celebration. It really is. It's something that you have to see at least once in your life.
Well, I like the fact that we do have paintings here, but we've also got woodwork, we've got bronze, and we've got some other that I can just best call it off-the-wall sort of things as well, but it all qualifies as art, and quite a bit of it is nature-based. Now, one oil painting that you have here that I just absolutely love. It's called Peaceable Kingdom. And basically, for lack of a better word, folks, it's a pastoral setting, a cloudy sky, and you've got 4 beautiful horses. Tell me about where this was done and what inspired you to paint it.
Well, there was a show in town about 6 months ago called Year of the Horse, in which the horse was featured. And I didn't have any horse paintings, and I didn't show in that show. But right after that, I said, I got to do something with horses just because of the wonderful art that I saw there. So this is a scene looking south in Enterprise toward the Grand Ronde River. Actually, it's north Enterprise, Grand Ronde River. And it's a scene of a pasture, and there's horses very casually munching away and enjoying themselves, clouds in the background. And I've tried to keep it very loosely painted so that crude marks make fine art.
Well, and I love the one horse at the rear of the pack, so to speak, or the rear of the herd that's kind of swinging around and looking right at you. It's just a beautiful scene, and I love how you incorporate the clouds. It really brings the whole thing home. Plus, I'm not the only one that feels this way. You got second place. Congratulations.
Yes, I feel very proud to compete with the artists who are in this show.
All right, so that's Michael Koloski from Enterprise, Oregon. Let's go ahead and meet a few of the other artists that are here today and participating in the Wallowa Art Festival. Continuing at the Wallowa Art Festival, we're talking to another artist here. It's Norma Path. She is from Kamei, Idaho, and she has painted these absolutely stunning pictures of cougars, 2 of them. One of them, the cougar is kind of laying down and looking at you. The other is that classic straight-on look, intimidating, called Through a Cat's Eye. Tell me about these incredible paintings.
Well, I really enjoy wildlife, and I've spent many, many hours in the outdoors just watching them, and I'm a freelance photographer, and I take a lot of pictures of animals, and I paint from my photographs. These are not pictures that I took. I painted from someone else's photograph. They gave me permission to paint. But usually all my paintings are done from photographs that I take.
Well, Norma, I'm going to cut you off for just a second. The one, Wanna Play, where the cat is kind of laying down and looking at you with an angle. These are oil paintings, folks, but the quality, the detail is just stunning. And I love how you bring the eyes. They say something to the effect that the eyes are kind of a picture into a person's soul, and boy, you can almost just see the emotion from this cat. It's just amazing. And I see that this one, again, Wanna Play, actually got second place, and the other one was Best Wildlife Representation. So well done. You've got one more, a smaller oil on linen grizzly bear. Tell me about this one.
Well, that's a picture of a grizzly bear. I took the picture at Yellowstone National Park. They have the Grizzly Center there, and of course, in the wild, it's hard to get up on animals and be safe.
And you don't want to be as close as this grizzly looks, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it's an old sow that lives there, and I just thought she had a lot of character, and I just had to paint her. So I did.
Well, again, Norma, this is incredible work. Do you have a website? Because I really want to direct people to it. You're a very, very talented artist when it comes to bringing wildlife to life when it comes to oil paintings.
Yes, I do have. I actually have two websites. One is normapaff.com, and the other one is normaleepaff.com.
And Paff is spelled P-F-A-F-F. That's NormaPaff, P-F-A-F-F.com. Are these paintings on your website and for sale?
Yes, they are, and they're also in Xanadu Gallery, online gallery out of Scottsdale, Arizona, for sale through that gallery as well.
Incredible stuff. Norma, thanks for sharing it with us on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you so much.
Last but not least, we wanted to tell you about an artist based here in Joseph. Actually has a gallery here, the Finney Gallery. It's Malcolm Finney. And Malcolm, you won first place for a landscape painting for the art festival. Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't know that I won first place. I haven't been over there yet, so thanks for letting me know.
I hope I don't get in trouble for doing that.
No, I had heard that I'd gotten a ribbon, so that's exciting. First place. Wow.
Well, tell me about that landscape on oil that won first place. What inspired that? Where's it at?
Well, it's just a beautiful setting. It's Ant Flats. It's between the Minam Grade and Elgin, and there's a little ditch that runs through there, and I just liked the way the light was hitting on it, so I thought, man, that'd be a perfect painting.
You know, I think it's incredible how important light is for photography. That is just as important for you as the artist putting things on canvas.
Very much so. In fact, I've been out plein air painting at times and wanting to capture that perfect light. I'd be looking into the sunset and thinking, well, how can I really capture that? And struggling with it, not being able to pull it off. Turn around to clean my palette, and there's the beautiful painting right behind me with all the beautiful light.
And for our listeners who don't know, what is plein air painting?
Just basically painting on location out in the open.
Well, we're actually in your studio right now, and you have two beautiful pieces you're working on. Are these both examples of plein air painting?
No, these are way too involved to be able to, for me to do plein air. They're just way too large and too much. Now, I would do plein air studies and capture the light and the color and those kind of things, but these are 36 by 48 paintings. I need to do those inside.
Now, one of them is Wallowa Lake, looking towards the state park with the mountains in the background. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that you capture the sky. How close is this one to being finished?
I don't know.
I guess as an artist, you can get away with that.
No, I really don't. You know, they say sometimes with art and with other things, it's not necessarily finished, it's just abandoned. And that's how I feel sometimes. My wife tells me, you know, it's time to stop and move on to the next one.
Okay, well, speaking of the next one, I absolutely love this one. Looks like a wheat field and kind of the storm's brewing above it, and you got a little bit of a ranch in the background. Where is this? This is just a very compelling piece.
This is going just outside of town here, heading towards Imnaha and looking north. And this is an example of a painting that I wasn't sure if I was finished. A buyer came in, said, I really love that. Please don't change it. How much?
I guess that's when you know you're finished.
That's when you know you're finished, yeah.
Let's go ahead and give people a website so they can find out more about the Finney Gallery.
Okay, finneygallery.com. Just that easy. And it's P-H-I-N-N-E-Y and then gallery.
That's finneygallery.com, P-H-I-N-N-E-Y, gallery.com. And your gallery, when is it open?
10 to 5 every day.
All right, 10 to 5, 7 days a week. You're very dedicated. I appreciate that.
Well, if I'm not running the gallery, I'm in here painting, so.
Fair enough. And folks, I hope you've enjoyed our collage of artists we've met during the Wallowa Art Festival. Go ahead and Google Wallowa Art Festival. You'll get to the website, find out more about it. You might want to attend next year because there's a lot of talent here, and there's a lot of artists that live here in the greater Enterprise Joseph area that have galleries that would love to see you. Malcolm, thanks for telling us all about this on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you so much.
The road is calling you to experience one of Oregon's 7 wonders, the Wallowas. So grab your hiking boots and camera and capture the beauty and grandeur of Northeast Oregon's Wallowa County. Experience nature like never before when you saddle up and ride into the Eagle Cap Wilderness, hike the trails of the Wallowas, hear the wind rush through the bunch grass and view the wildlife of the Zumwalt Prairie, or ride the churning waters of the wild and scenic Wallowa, Snake, and Grand Ronde rivers. This summer, take the road that leads to wonders. It begins at WallowaCountyChamber.com.
Do you want to go fishing with an actual legend? You can. His name's Ed Iman. He will take you fishing for walleye, for sturgeon, for steelhead, and smallmouth bass on the Columbia River between the Dalles Dam and McNary Dam.
I'm Ed Iman, and I'd like to take you fishing on the mighty Columbia River.
That's Ed Iman. Give him a call at 541-298-3753. 541-298-3753. Go fishing with Ed at 541-298-3753.
Good hunters know before you take that shot, you've got to see the whole picture. Now, the best way to do that is with a spotting scope, binoculars, or a rifle scope, but it's got to be from Leupold. Now, Leupold is a Northwest company with a reputation that stretches across the world for making superior optics. Look for Leupold Optics at your local Cabela store, Dick's Sporting Goods, or online at leupold.com. Leupold, America's optical authority.
We're back with John Cruz on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
It's time for another Max Minute.
Fish on.
Brought to you every week by Max Lure Company. With us again, Lance Mers with Max Lure Company. Lance, it's Father's Day weekend. Tell me about your dad. Did he take you fishing? Did he take you hunting? And if so, any memories that stand out this Father's Day?
Dad's still my best friend. And, Dad's also retired Army as well. So any chance that we had to go out fishing, camping, hunting, whatever, we were always in the great outdoors. And there are too many times that I can remember to just place one, memory.
Well, there's got to be at least one trip that just comes to mind instantly whenever you think of fishing with your dad.
Well, yeah, fishing with Dad is, to be honest with you, it was always not about catching the fish. It was always being together on the lake.
Yep.
And that was the most important thing to me. And I was attached to his hip. So, the closer I was to him, the better it was. But of course, you can't fish that way. So
I hear you. That's the great thing about Father's Day, folks. Lance, I feel the same way. My dad is my best friend. Huge influence on me when it came to fishing and hunting. And I hope all of you out there have that same sort of relationship with your fathers. And if you do, it's Father's Day. Go out there. Tell your dad you love him. Tell him thanks for getting you introduced to the outdoors. And hopefully that's one of the reasons you're listening to this show today. Lance, thanks for sharing your memories. And we will talk to you all next week on another Max Minute. Find out more about Max Lures at their website at maxlure.com. And that wraps up this week's Max Minute.
That's the sound you hear when a fish hits the new sonic bait fish from Max Lure Company. This metal lure can be cast, trolled, or jigged and will catch just about anything that swims in the sea, the river, or the lake. The sonic bait fish has a unique vibration and flutter that can be rigged in 7 different ways. With all sorts of eye-catching colors and weights available, you'll be reaching for the sonic bait fish as your go-to lure. It's the sonic bait fish. And that's another fish on. Only from Max Lure Company.
Sonic booms not included with the Sonic Baitfish Strike unless you are fishing for jet fighters.
Nate Luther wants to take you fishing for monster sturgeon on the Snake River and Hell's Canyon. If you're looking for a fishing adventure, this one is hard to beat. Find out more by going to Nate's Facebook page at Nate Luther's Guide Service or give Nate a call at 208-503-9204. That's 208-503-9204 for Nate Luther's Guide Service.
It doesn't matter what sort of adventure you're after. Whether it's big game deep in the backcountry, a day of fishing out on the water, or an overnight in the great outdoors. At Sportsman's Warehouse, we've got the gear in here for what you need out there. Gear up for your next adventure at one of the Sportsman's Warehouse stores or shop online. Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
Hey, we're talking to Lance Mers today with Max Lure Company about a brand new lure that's just slaying the trout out there on area lakes. It's the Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure from Max Lure Company. Lance, what makes this lure so special?
Well, we've got our Max Lure patented Smile Blade, our high UV components, and the Spin Drift hook, which gives it a great corkscrew action in the water.
There you go, folks. All three components help you catch more fish. The Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure, only from Max Lure Company. Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're broadcasting from a little slice of paradise in Wallowa County today. I'm actually riding the rails with my new friend, Anita Metlin. She's one of the co-owners of the Joseph Branch Rail Riders, and we have been pedaling along the Joseph Branch rail line between Joseph and Enterprise here in Northeast Oregon. Anita, this has been a ton of fun. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Anita, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about this experience? These are kind of like, I don't know, railroad hand cars, but we're pedaling along the rails instead.
Yes, so it is similar to a rail car in that it has four wheels, but we have a very light aluminum frame, so this unit weighs about 100 pounds. We have a semi-recumbent type situation between the pedaling and the seat so that you pedal at your leisure down the railroad and enjoy the outdoors.
Well, and talking about enjoying the outdoors, we've actually just stopped for a moment to record this, but let me describe where we're at. Blue skies, 75 degrees, snow-capped Wallowa Mountains in front of us. Below that, we've got forests, we've got a meadow where just a second ago a white-tailed deer was bounding across. Right behind me, you can probably hear a magpie chirping, and we've even got some mules in the pasture too. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and this whole trip from Joseph to Enterprise, 6 miles down, and now we're on the back trip, it's been full of wonderful sights. We've seen a lot of birds, got to see some Bohemian waxwings, which are really classy birds, got to see some ducks, the magpies that I mentioned. Hawks have been common around here. Saw an osprey nest, no ospreys though, and of course lots of deer. You got both mule deer and white-tailed deer. What other animals do you see out here?
You might see some elk once in a while, and livestock. We have quite a variety of livestock, which is a treat for those people from the metropolitan area. So we've had such things as horses and cows and mules and sheep and a llama.
There you go. So let's tell people a little bit about how this came about. This is a fairly new business where basically people hop on these pedal cars and pedal up and down the rail lines in this beautiful setting. Starts in Joseph, Oregon. Tell me a little bit about this company, the Joseph Branch Rail Riders.
My husband had an interest in creating some kind of a little device that he could ride on a unused portion of the rail line. He did a little research on the internet and found a solution to his dreams that would work, and that was the beginning.
So today, you actually have these carts, and each one carries 2 people, and you can go in groups of up to 20 people at a time, but a lot of times it's just going to be like today where there's a couple in front of us and then there's you and I that are pedaling along behind them, and you can go at your own pace, but basically it takes about 2 hours to go down to Enterprise, turn around, and come back to where you started. Not too hard, slight downhill, like a 1.5% grade down, and get a little bit of a workout on the way back, but geez, this is just an incredible experience and very unique. Is anybody else offering this in the Northwest or even the Western United States?
Not that we are aware of. We have an agreement with the rail owners, and they have agreed that we can do this, and I think it's very unique to the Northwest and even to the United States.
How did this happen? Tell me a little bit about this rail line here. Obviously, it's not used by any train companies anymore, but obviously it was at one time.
So this line was originally put in about the 1900s. There's a spur line that would go from La Grande to Joseph, and they did that over a series of years, and they used it for commercial uses, hauling timber and lumber and grain. There was a passenger service for a while, and eventually all those different legs of economy kind of closed down, and now this line is sitting here not being used, except for one end does have the Eagle Cup excursion train on it.
So it fell into disuse, and I understand it was turned over to Wallowa County. Is that correct?
The owners of the rail line wanted to sell, and Wallowa County and Union County decided that they wanted to buy it in order to preserve the line, with the hope that at some point there would be a commercial resurgence for uses of this rail line.
Well, obviously, that never happened. However, you came along and you convinced the counties that this would be a great, well, for lack of a better word, tourist attraction.
Well, yes, here we are. Union and Wallowa County talked about someday there would be a commercial venture, and I guess it's us right now.
But what a unique commercial venture indeed, where again, you get to take in incredible views, get to go ahead and see and hear the livestock, see and hear the wildlife, and get some exercise along the way. And it's so remote. You're really not seeing anybody at all out here. I love that aspect of it too. And this is just the short version. You offer this, 3 times a day?
Yes, 3 times a day from Joseph to Enterprise, and we depart at 9 and noon and 3 o'clock, and we can take up to 20 people at a time, so it works out great for family outings or special occasions.
And the other really nice part about this, folks, it only costs you $20. So you get a 2-hour excursion for $20 you're going to remember for a long time. And like I said, get a little bit of a workout too. Again, folks, you're listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're riding the rails with the Joseph Branch Rail Riders today in Wallowa County, and we're talking to one of the co-owners, Anita Metlin. And Anita, this is the short ride, but you've got an all-day ride too. Tell me about that one.
This option is just new this year, and we gather in Minam at 9 a.m., and we're back by 4, but we pedal from Minam to Wallowa. You travel along the Wallowa River, and then you travel into the lower part of the Wallowa Valley, and then we take a break in the little town of Wallowa, where you can go into town and either buy a coffee, buy some lunch, go look at the antique shop, and then we head back to Minam. And along the way, you're more in the canyon, you're seeing wildlife, you're seeing wildflowers. I actually saw a beaver yesterday when I went, and little lady slippers, which were very beautiful.
The flowers are pretty nice up here in your Enterprise, too. The first poppies are starting to bloom. There's lots of buttercups that are out here blooming already. And again, it's just a beautiful time of year to be here in Northeast Oregon. Let's talk about the mileage on this longer trip. How many miles are you covering on that one?
Round trip, it is 26 miles, and the grade is actually a little more gentle than option 1, which is from Joseph. So the average grade difference is a little less than 1%.
That makes for a wonderful, I was going to say bike ride, but I'll say pedal cart excursion in this case along the rails. I'd imagine most of your guests do get lunch in Wallowa. What's their favorite place to go, and what's their favorite dish?
Well, I think that several of us have been to the Blonde Strawberry, but the Little Bear also has wonderful hamburgers, and the Blonde Strawberry has all kinds of espresso offerings and cappuccino and a few scones.
And the great thing, folks, is you can be completely guilt-free because you're going to work it all off on the way back. What other things should people know about this incredible excursion that you're offering here in Northeast Oregon?
Well, it's a very unique experience, and it's something that anybody who has any kind of nostalgia for the railroad will enjoy, because you will be traveling the rails as opposed to the roads. And if you love the outdoors, great opportunity to come out here and just enjoy the fresh air and the green and the mountains and the rushing rivers. And if you like birds and wildlife, there's plenty to observe and enjoy. And it's one of those unique experiences you shouldn't miss.
Unique experience indeed. I can't recommend it highly enough. Again, we have so many unique things to do outdoors here in the Northwest, but this is one you've got to put on your list. The other thing of note is that you don't have to be in great shape to do this. Just about anybody of any physical ability can go ahead and do, especially the Joseph to Enterprise trip. And that's because A, it's not that hard to do, but B, if it is a little tough for you, you've got a little motor assist, don't you?
Yes, we have one of our units has a Honda motor on it. That way we are able to take larger groups, and so when you have a 3-generation family grouping that comes and grandma and grandpa are needing a little assistance, they can actually ride with the rail rider, or we can push them. So we can push a few units back. We can't push everyone back, but that does allow a broader spectrum of people who can come and enjoy.
So the Joseph to Enterprise trip, that's only $20, great bargain. How much is this 6-hour, 26-mile trip from Minam to Wallowa and back?
That's $45 a person, and it's an all-day adventure, so it's worth the money because it's just so peaceful and scenic and worth doing.
Oh, that is an understatement of a year. $45 for a full day of time on the rails, or even $20 for a couple hours. This is a great bargain, folks. Anita, we are running out of time, but before we go, we definitely want to give people a phone number and a website so they can book their own excursion. And folks, you need to go ahead and reserve in advance because this is getting more and more popular. What is the website?
jbrailriders.com.
That's JB Rail Riders for Joseph Branch Rail Riders, jbrailriders.com, and let's give out a phone number too.
541-910-0089, or contact me by email, which is jbrailriders@gmail.com.
And I'm going to have you repeat that one more time.
541-910-0089, or by email, jbrailriders@gmail.com.
And the website again, folks, is jbrailriders.com. That's the Joseph Branch Rail Riders. If you're looking for something unique, want a little exercise, do some pedaling in an incredible vista and setting, this is for you, and it's right here in Wallowa County, Northeast Oregon. Anita, thanks for the experience. I've loved every minute of it.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. It's time again for news and reports from the field, brought to you every week by Mardon Resort at Eastern Washington's Potholes Reservoir. Water levels are dropping at the reservoir, and the fishing has been as hot as the summertime temperatures. Anglers are catching perch, some of them over 12 inches long, and walleye angling has been very good near the mouth of Crab Creek for those trolling along the weed lines at a depth of 5 to 11 feet. Bass fishing is quote-unquote amazing and especially fun for those using topwater lures and buzzing spinner baits. Anglers are catching rainbow trout too, up to 24 inches long. They are targeting them 20 to 35 feet deep in the big lake, and dock anglers at Mardon are getting in on some great crappie fishing, with quite a few of these panfish measuring over 10 inches long. In short, now is the time to go to Mardon Resort. Now is the time to go fishing. Find out more by going to their website at mardonresort.com. That's mardonresort.com, where the fish bite, but we don't. In other fishing reports, 1.5 pound trout, think 15 to 18 inch rainbow trout here, are being stocked by the Department of Fish and Wildlife in Washington for Father's Day in the following lakes in the North Sound. Campbell Lake in Skagit County is getting 250 fish. Moving down south to Grays Harbor County, Vance Creek or Elma Pond is getting 100 fish. Jefferson County, Sandy Shore Lake is getting 350. American Lake in Pierce County, 1,500 of these big fish. And Clear Lake and Hicks Lake in Thurston County are also being stocked. Over in Kittitas County, Cooper Lake's getting 250 fish. Clear Lake in Yakima County is getting 500. Park Lake in Grant County in Central Washington, 400 fish. And heading up north to Alta Lake and Conconully Reservoir, they're stocking between those two lakes over 1,000 trout. Finally, heading east to Spokane County, West Medical Lake, 1,250 trout. And one of my favorite places to fish, Williams Lake, 400 trout. Last but not least, Pend Oreille County, Diamond Lake, 600 more trout. Sounds like a great weekend for fishing. Father's Day weekend is a free fishing weekend in Montana where no license is required. A couple of lakes worth fishing this weekend include Willow Creek Reservoir in central Montana. This lake near Augusta received a plant of 53,000 rainbow trout on June 11th and should provide some very fast fishing. Another place to go is Dead Man's Basin Reservoir near Harlowtown because 55,000 rainbows were planted there recently. And you just thought the good trout fishing in Montana took place in rivers and streams, didn't you? If, on the other hand, you are into stream fishing for trout, you'll do well in eastern Idaho, where Idaho Fish and Game has stocked 10 to 12-inch rainbow trout just perfect for catching on the fly or with a spinner into Henry's Fork, the Salmon River, the Upper Snake, and the Portneuf River during the past week. Next up on Northwestern Outdoors Radio, we've got a fishing report for you from Wallowa County. We're talking to Rob Lamb again from the Joseph Fly Shop located in downtown Joseph. Looks like the streams are high, but the water is clearing. I'm guessing that means trout fishing is going to get pretty good here in a hurry, isn't it, Rob?
Oh, boy, just all of a sudden the streams are dropping, and it's going to be a great early season this year.
Now, everyone focuses on the Wallowa River and the Grand Ronde, too, I suppose, but there's other waters that people ought to be looking at, too, huh?
Yeah, you know, the Imnaha could be a pretty good fishery. Kind of have to check for access, but on the lower river and just above town where the Nature Conservancy provided a bunch of easement, it can be really good fishing.
So when we're talking the Wallowa, the Grand Ronde, the Imnaha, we're all talking rainbow trout here, or we got something else in the mix?
Pretty much all rainbow, and then we have what we call residual steelhead smolt that are kind of like a stock trout, and they're fin clipped, and you can keep them. And then, on the Lostine River and the upper Imnaha and stuff, and then the high lakes, we have brook trout, but we don't have any cutthroat or any browns in the valley.
talking about those high lakes, we got such little snowpack this year that those high lakes, they're going to open up a lot earlier. I'm guessing by the 1st of July, people are going to be fishing them.
I'm not so sure Aneroid Lake hasn't been fished already, and I just had a guy leave the shop that is going up to Ice Lake. We tried to MapQuest to see if it was ice-free, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, when it comes to those brookies, spunky little fighters, how big do they get up there in those lakes up in the Eagle Cap Wilderness?
The biggest brookie I've caught probably is, I don't know, maybe 16, but it's not, you don't go up there for trophy fish. When I go up there, I'll catch and keep plump little brook trout anywhere from 5 to 7 to 8 inches. I'll eat 4 or 5 of them for breakfast, again for lunch, and again for dinner because, man, they are so good.
I hear you. Wrap them in foil, put them in the fire, and you're going to have some good eating. Hey, let's play the 2-fly game. This is a fly shop after all. If people are going to take 2 flies up to the high mountain lakes to go after brookies, what 2 flies would you send them with?
I think I would send them with a green woolly bugger, gold bead woolly bugger, and a... Why don't we see an ant pattern? You know, a lot of ants up there.
And let's play that same game down here for the Grand Ronde, the Wallowa, and the Imnaha. You know, what are the 2 flies you'd recommend for stream fishermen down here in the Wallowa County Valley?
Well, that's pretty easy. We have a lot of caddis down here, less mayflies because we're what they call a freestone river. So our best dry fly would be, say, a size 12 orange stimulator or caddis type pattern. And then biggest selling fly in the United States and real good one here is a beadhead prince sniff if you get a dip.
Last but not least, Wallowa Lake. The kokanee fishing kind of fallen on tougher times since those record fish were caught about 6 years ago, but it's still a really good trout fishing lake, isn't it?
Yeah, they really stock it heavy, and they put regular size rainbows in, and they put some what they call trophy or, 15 to 17 inch type, a few carryover, and it's just such a gorgeous lake to be on. And your kids and you should be able to catch rainbow off the end of the lake.
Any other lakes that people ought to be fishing in Wallowa County if they want to go after trout?
That's a good point. We have a great little 5-acre lake just 5 minutes outside of town called Kenny Lake. You go out the Imnaha Highway a little ways, and you can find it on a map. But it's easy to get to. It's got shallow banks, so you can fish from the shore. The fish feed within casting distance, unlike Wallowa Lake. It's got safe banks for young kids, 2, 3, 4-year-olds, and it's pretty up there. It sits up on a bench. So Kenny Lake, stop by and I'll give you directions.
Any special regulations for Kenny Lake?
Ooh, good point. You can't use boats on that lake.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Wallowa County's got a lot of fishing for you, whether you're going to be in the streams, the high lakes, or Kenny Lake or Wallowa Lake. Go ahead and find out more and stock up for a successful trip at the Joseph Fly Shop. They're right at 203 North Main in Joseph, Oregon, and Rob Lamb will get you hooked up. Rob, always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, John. My pleasure.
French Lake, Granite Lake, Cedar Lake, Pleasant Lake, Clear Lake, Bass Lake, Otter Lake, Goose Lake, Gull Lake, Round Lake, Pearl Lake, Rice Lake, Sugar Lake, Mud Lake, Long Lake, Ant Lake, Swan Lake, and Lake of the Woods. Oh, I fish everywhere.
Hey, honey, come here. Check out these new loophole binoculars. They're not only great to see birds with and animals with, but check out the stars. Hey, and since there's a full moon tonight, I thought it'd be a perfect time to break them in. Here, take a look.
Wow, I can't believe it. You can actually see the craters on the moon.
Oh, but it gets better than that. See that gray area up there right to the right? That's the Sea of Tranquility. That's where the astronauts landed on the moon and planted the American flag.
This is so cool.
Now, if you look close, you can still see that flag.
Stop telling her stories.
Don't worry, Dad. I saw it. It was right next to the lunar rover.
Loophole binoculars. Optical quality that's out of this world. Find them at a sporting goods store near you or at loophole.com.
In the depth of Hell's Canyon, a monster sturgeon swims within the waters of the Snake River. He measures anywhere from 6 to 11 feet long and weighs out not in pounds, but in hundreds of pounds. You can fight him and you can catch him, but you'll need help to do so. That's where Nate Luther comes in. He's been navigating the rapids within Hell's Canyon for years and knows how to catch these sturgeon like no other man on the water. Find out more by going to Nate Luther's Facebook page at Nate Luther's Guide Service or give Nate a call at 208-503-9204. That's 208-503-9204 for Nate Luther's Guide Service.
Shiloh Inn's affordable excellence. The more you stay, the more you save. Hello, I'm Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inns. As a Shiloh Inn Star Rewards member, you get free room upgrades, a personal agent to help book your stay, Points that can be used for free nights at any one of our beautiful hotels or for free airline tickets and much more. And there are no blackout dates for any reward stay. Make 4-star accommodations at 2-star prices even better with deluxe smoke-free suites, spacious pools and spas, and fully equipped fitness centers. There's free high-speed internet and a free continental breakfast or delicious full hot breakfast at most Shiloh Inns. Even the kids stay free, and smoke-free Shiloh Inns are all dog-friendly. For reservations, call 1-800-222-2244 or visit our website at shilohins.com. Shiloh Inns, affordable excellence, American family-owned and proud of it.
Ah, the great outdoors. I'm ready for a great weekend of camping at this remote campground. But first, I think I'll invite my camp neighbors over for a meal of fire-roasted hot dogs and baked beans. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum. Hi, neighbors. I just came over to...
Pizza!
Hey, is that pizza you're eating? How did you get pizza out in the middle of nowhere?
Pizza!
Thanks. Oh, this is delicious. A pizza oven operated on a propane canister and another on the top of your camp stove? And they're both made by Camp Chef? I knew Camp Chef made great stuff for outdoors cooking, but this? I've got to get one of these pizza ovens from Camp Chef. No more beans and weenies for this guy. From now on, it's artisan pizza for me when I'm camping.
Pizza!
The Camp Chef Pizza Oven. Bake your own artisan masterpiece on your back patio or at the campground. Find out more at your local sporting goods dealer or at campchef.com.
It doesn't matter what sort of adventure you're after. Whether it's big game deep in the backcountry, a day of fishing out on the water, or an overnight in the great outdoors. At Sportsman's Warehouse, we've got the gear in here for what you need out there. Gear up for your next adventure at one of its Sportsman's Warehouse stores or shop online. Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
We're back with one last cast from John Cruz on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
It's time for upcoming events and your Sportsman's Warehouse trivia question of the week, where the Sportsman's Warehouse store in Hillsboro is hosting a unique and free series of classes next Saturday, the 27th. Northwest Fishing Pros Ed Iman, Bruce Warren, and Nolan Morgan will give you some great tips to help you catch salmon, steelhead, walleye, and bass out of the Columbia River. Contact the store for the exact times these classes will take place. Meanwhile, all of the Sportsman's Warehouse stores in the Northwest and also online are having an awesome Father's Day sale that runs all weekend long. I can guarantee that if your father is an outdoorsman, a sales price gift from a Sportsman's Warehouse store will make him very happy indeed. And now it's time for your trivia question of the week. Are there grizzly bears in the Beaver State? It's a simple question. Are you likely to see a grizz in Oregon? I'm not talking about a University of Montana grizz. I'm talking about a real grizzly bear, a big grizzly bear. You know, the type that you see in Montana and Idaho. And some say there are grizzlies in the North Cascades of Washington too. But Oregon, will you find any grizzly bears in Oregon? Give us your answer online at northwesternoutdoors.com. Just go to our contact page and let us know your answer, or you can do it through our Facebook page. Just like our Facebook page and then go to our post and let us know. Can you find grizzly bears in Oregon? Everyone who answers correctly has a chance to win the $25 gift card from Sportsman's Warehouse we give away every week on the show. So go ahead, give us your best guess, and hopefully you'll walk away a winner. We'll let somebody know after our last broadcast on Sunday. We're starting to run short on time, but I wanted to let you know about a couple of upcoming events taking place in Wallowa County, that wonderful place we spent time in to put this show together for you. Wallowa Resources is putting on their annual Watershed Festival this coming Friday, the 26th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the County Fairgrounds and Enterprise. This is a family-friendly event with activities for the kids, music, and the chance to find out about the organizations providing outdoor recreation and conservation in the area. The following weekend is the Shake the Lake fireworks show over beautiful Wallowa Lake, and taking this in from the state park, or for that matter, just about anywhere else on the lake, or maybe even on top of Mount Howard, should make for a fun evening. There are are a couple more events coming up in July, too, to include a powwow in Wallowa and the county's biggest event of the year, Chief Joseph Days, which takes place the last weekend in July and features some awesome rodeo. If you want to know more about these events, as well as places to stay and other things to do in this gorgeous part of Northeast Oregon, go to WallowaCountyChamber.org, which is a local Chamber of Commerce website. That's Wallowa spelled WALLOWA, countychamber.org. Another website to visit is RenoViolaOutdoors.com. That's the home of WRVO Radio. It's an internet station dedicated to outdoors programming, and we air there every Wednesday, 4 times a day. So go ahead and check it out, not just on Wednesday, but every other day of the week, too. If you love outdoors programming, RenoViolaOutdoors.com is the website for you. Speaking of websites, don't forget ours, NorthwesternOutdoors.com. You can always find links to find out more about our guests and catch last week's show in case you missed it. We have to go, so until next time, take care, God bless, and make it a point to spend some time outdoors.